Democratic Congresswoman Julie Johnson of Farmers Branch opposes much of what the president has ordered.
Well, there's no dispute that our southern border needs attention. I mean, we can't have a free flow of people swimming the river and coming into this country via smugglers and in an illegal way. The problem with what he did is by shutting down that app, for example, those are people who were trying to come here in a legal process, people who had waited 6 to 8 months for an appointment to come to this country legally. And so that really decentivizes folks for illegal immigration, which I think is very disturbing and unfortunate. And it also applies to not just people in Mexico, but, for example, folks in Afghanistan, people who worked with our troops hand in hand to be interpreters and other service personnel to really help our countrymen and our service troops while in that country. We're trying to get here so that they wouldn't face clear political persecution in Afghanistan. And so I think that just a wholesale shutting it down was too overbroad of an approach.
The other thing that he campaigned on and he discussed was mass deportation, starting with criminals and perhaps those who already have deportation orders. Let me get your thoughts on that.
Well, you know, we already have laws on the books about deportation if you commit crimes in this country, and I think the vast majority of Americans support that. But for folks who have been here in this country for 20 years, that have children, that have families, DACA students and DACA kids, you know, it's just not a reasonable approach. And so I think we have to be measured and thoughtful in our immigration policy. We definitely want a secure border, but we have a lot of folks in this country who work to make this country function. You know, they provide a lot of valuable services and fulfill a lot of jobs that are necessary in our economy. And so I think this global, just blow it up approach is just not realistic. It's not reasonable. It's not thoughtful, and it's not prudent.
As you may have heard, Congressman Keith Self from McKinney filed a bill that would move the Border Patrol from Washington, D.C. to Texas. Where are you on that?
I'm a no on that. You know, we have centralized government. There's efficiency of process. You know, I'm going to be a member of Homeland Security, and I'm very excited about that. I was appointed to that committee. We have our organizational meeting today, as a matter of fact, so I'll learn what committees I'm going to be on. One of the committees I'm requesting is border security. I mean, I do think that Texans need to lead on this issue, and I look forward to being part of those discussions. But we have a centralized government. We have the agency heads all in D.C. so we can have clear coordination and communication within the various aspects of our government. And I think starting to spill that out across the country, it doesn't make any sense.
One more question on the border, and that is, do you support a bill that would reimburse the state of Texas for the billions of dollars it spent to shore up border security during the Biden administration?
I don't know if I would or not. Again, I'd have to see the language of the bill to see what it encompasses. But, you know, Greg Abbott, our governor, did a lot of performative spending down there just for re-election purposes that really didn't make a meaningful contribution to our border security. If it had, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in now. And so I'm not for wasting governmental resources for one politician's performance gain. And so we'll have to see what the real policy is about.